Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Video Games and Coffee. I'm your host, Daniel, and today I'd like to talk to you about a game that is both a third-person shooter and a live-action show. A game where choices can and will affect certain outcomes, but ultimately lead to one single ending. The only game you'll play that will have an X-Man, a Hobbit, and that guy Bane punch in the face on the airplane. A game with beautifully crazy visuals that involve time traveling in an attempt to fix a grim future outcome. A game that attempts to teach you the very important lesson that no matter what you do to try and change the past, Bane would have ended up punching you in the face anyway. Today, let's take a look at a very unique game that had actors performing both in and out of mocap. Let's talk about Quantum Break. So Quantum Break went way under my radar, and for a game that's been out for 5 years now, I don't remember any mention of it. And I have to admit that at first glance, it didn't look like a game I would have been interested in. I tend to not really enjoy games that have characters whose face models were exactly the actor or actress playing them. With a few exceptions. I really did like Beyond Two Souls and Death Stranding, for example. But it's risky because instead of making a completely new face for the character, you have now attached an actor that, let's face it, another pun. I'm telling you, I'm a black belt at this, and I didn't even know it. This is not on purpose, I swear to you. This happens almost every episode. But, you've now attached a face to this character that's an actor or actress that many people may like, and also one that many people may not be crazy about. You've kind of divided the audience from the very beginning, and unfortunately, some people may not even give the game a try solely on their dislike for a particular actor. Nathan Drake of the Uncharted series is a great example. If you look at him, you can kind of tell that he may be, loosely based on Nolan North, or it may just be a coincidence. But for the most part, he doesn't really resemble any real known person. And when you think of Nathan and you picture his face in your head, there's no celebrity that you're associating with him. So when I saw that almost every character in the game was an exact digital clone of the actor portraying him or her, I was like, nah. And then there's the fact that the entire game is based on time travel, which to me, time travel, it's two things to me. One, it is complicated as shit sometimes. It's super confusing. I mean, unless you're watching Back to the Future where it's very obvious what Marty McFly is trying to do, a lot of the time travel shit nowadays, it's just a bunch of back and forth, and if you change this, you change that, you alter this, all that shit is just, it's super hard. You end up walking out of the movie or you ended up, ending the show and you're like, what the hell just happened? And it's also been a real cheap cop out, for plot holes. I always hated the whole, well, let's fix everything with time travel, So I always thought of it as it's kind of a cheap move. Up till this point, I always thought time travel was just as lame as, mind control, It's just, time travel and mind control was just something I thought was just ridiculous. And how are we going to fix this? Well, we're going to travel back in time. How are we going to make that person do that? Well, we're going to use mind control. We didn't get mind control in this game, but we got a big old helping of time travel. Oh, man. Okay, well, just knowing that the game was set on one of my two biggest, lamest God mode moves in any story, I thought the game was fucked, to be honest with you. But the game itself has time travel because it is about time travel. So I'm defending that part of it. And this is coming from somebody who doesn't really like the whole time travel gimmick. But it wasn't introduced, for example, at the end as a solution to a problem that, we hadn't talked about before. No, the entirety of the games, the whole story's point, plot, structure, and foundation is built on time travel, experimentation, and trying to fix the negative effects of what happened in the game. But when I first heard about it, again, I was like, yeah, I don't know. But then I watched the trailer. And then after I finished the trailer, I was playing the game. It was that convincing, that interesting. I didn't have a chance to binge play it, but I guess you could say I weekly binge played it. Friday nights for 4 weeks in a row was dedicated to Quantum Break, and nothing else was at the top of my list besides completing the game. And in the end, it delivered. I walked away a total fan of the game. So Quantum Break was released in 2016 and made by Remedy Entertainment, whom everybody might know from Max Payne, Alan Wake, and Control. Their headquarters is in Espoo, Finland, and it's really crazy to think how many good games come from Scandinavia or the Nordic region over there. A lot of good developers in that part of the world. And as I mentioned in the intro, it is a third-person shooter as well as a live-action movie, essentially. When you complete a section of the game, you are then presented with a choice to be made, which alters the course of the story a bit. What follows after you make your choice is the live-action part. So instead of watching a computer-generated cinematic, you're watching the actors themselves in costume in full-on live action. These clips aren't short either. They can easily be 15, 20 minutes long. And when you put all of them together with the entirety of the game, you basically have a full show or a full movie. Very unique. I loved it. It was incredibly interesting to see the actors performing their characters traditionally in front of a camera after spending a couple of hours with them as computer animation. So speaking of the actors, the game is full of wonderful actors, but I'll just name off a few that you may recognize. We have Shawn Ashmore, who plays Jack Joyce, the game's main protagonist. That's who you play as. You might remember him as Bobby Drake, or Iceman, from the X-Men movies. Dominic Monaghan is William Joyce, Jack's brother. He is probably best known as the Hobbit Merry Brandybuck from The Lord of the Rings. Aidan Gillen is Paul Serene, the game's main antagonist. He's been in a number of things, but you'll know him most likely as Littlefinger Baelish from Game of Thrones. I've personally never watched Game of Thrones, so I know everybody listening to this is probably like, "All right, you're out of your mind." Hey, when I found out about Game of Thrones, they were like 48 seasons in, and it was way too much of a commitment to begin now. So I'm sure it's a very good show. I just haven't had 4.5 months to catch up on it. But so a lot of people know him from Game of Thrones. But when I first saw him, I was like, oh shit, that's the dude Bane punched in the face in the opening scene of The Dark Knight Rises. What's funny is one of the Maze Runner movies that he's in was on TV not long after I completed Quantum Break. And I thought for sure it was a movie or a show based on this game because he looked exactly the same. And if you ever watched those Maze Runner movies and played Quantum Break, you'll know exactly what I mean. He even wore similar outfits and acted like the same douche. You know, the guy plays a wonderful villain. In fact, when I watched the trailer, it was his presence as, you know, what is obviously the villain of this game that really hooked me in. I think he just looks like a great bad guy, and he plays it so well. Courtney Hope plays Beth Wilder. She actually played Jesse Faden, the main character in Remedy's newest game, Control. And to name just one more out of the many great actors in this game is Lance Reddick, who plays Martin Hatch, whom you may know from The Wire, Oz, Lost, John Wick, Godzilla vs. Kong, and Silence from Horizon Zero Dawn, and the upcoming sequel, Horizon Forbidden West. Reddick's character, Martin Hatch, is a pretty terrifying villain, and he shares the role of antagonist alongside Aidan Gillen's Paul Serene. His eyes, voice, and facial expressions are the things nightmares are made of. He was great in this game. So the whole plot of the game is Jack Joyce, his brother William, and Beth are trying to fix time due to the accident in the opening act where Paul Serene, who seems to have continued the work William started, attempted to demonstrate time travel to Jack using a massive time machine that William had built. That little experiment failed, and both Paul and Jack were exposed to some kind of radiation called chronon radiation. Chronon being the material in this game that makes time travel possible. This gave them time manipulating abilities. Basically, this is their radioactive spider right here. Abilities such as momentarily freezing time in a small area, such as around a person who is attacking you. Like if somebody's coming up to you to shoot you, you can freeze time. You can freeze them and kind of everything in their immediate vicinity there for a little bit. And you can also travel at very fast speeds at someone before they have time to react, allowing you to completely incapacitate them. The entirety of the game is them trying to undo this blunder because after this machine goes crazy, it created what they have called the fracture in the game, which is something that so severely upset the flow of time that it eventually leads to the end of time. We know this because right after this happens, we encounter a future Paul Serene, who started off as a good friend of yours from when you see in the opening of the game, but is now your enemy. And he says he has seen the end of time and it cannot be changed or fixed. And knowing that you are trying to fix all of this, he is relentlessly coming after you to stop you. I believe me, if time travel shit confuses you, welcome to the club. But it makes this game no less fascinating. So throughout the game, Paul and his company, Monarch Solutions, a company he founded in the future, who have very deep pockets and what seems to be endless resources, are pursuing you. Monarch in this game is one of those bad guy companies that seem to have countless expendable soldiers. They remind me of Shoreline from Uncharted 4. It's like no matter where you go, these sons of bitches are there with lots of troops, lots of weapons, and lots of vehicles. The live action portion of the game was surprisingly good. I was absolutely expecting some cheesy acting, some cheesy dialogue, and cheesy action. And I can, without a doubt, say that not only was it great, but there are many shows on TV now and many movies that have been made that come nowhere close to the quality of Quantum Break. I don't want to name shows on TV right now where I find the acting and writing just atrocious, because that's not what this podcast is about. But I will say that there are some shows currently still being produced and put out that I find awful that could have taken some pointers from the folks that wrote and directed the scenes in this game. It's that good. But I have to say, the only thing that bugged the shit out of me as far as cheese is the Monarch people used cell phones that had their company logo on the back. That was clearly a sticker. No one does that in the real world. Do you think the Secret Service are issued cell phones with the American flag on the back? Or the president's personal cell phone has the presidential seal on it? Shit, no. I mean, I don't think so. And if they did, I'm sure it wouldn't be it wouldn't be a sticker they bought off of Redbubble.com, and it's most likely be a nice etched design. But it's kind of strange, isn't it? This is a game about time travel with countless events that happen that are just insane and massive shootouts, and that's where they lose me. The stickers on their phones. I don't know, man. It's the weird shit that matters to me, I guess. And the only other thing that I found not believable, again in a game about time travel, I know, was after Jack gets doused in that chronon radiation, he picks up every firearm in the game. It doesn't matter if it's like an assault rifle or a pistol, okay? And he is like John McClane, man. After the time machine experiment screws up, they are immediately attacked by Monarch and Paul, who came from the future. So they have to fight off these guys. Now, to be fair, we don't know Jack's extensive background information. He may be a Green Beret for all we know. And I would hope so, because in a cutscene, he picks up a gun for the very first time, and he is precise, dude. And I'd say that's actually more believable than having the complete opposite reaction to picking up a pistol for the first time. And a lot of you know what I mean. You don't see this in movies or TV now so much anymore. But I remember growing up, a lot of movies and TV, like where the hero tells what's usually the supporting character, to pick up a gun, here, take this, defend yourself. And the person's like, I don't know how to use this. I'm like, come on, man. Not just going on common knowledge, because we all know how a gun works, right? But visually, there is nothing more obvious and more self-explanatory than a pistol. It is literally a handle with a trigger, something you grip with your hand and squeeze with your finger. So, come on, I don't buy that shit for a second. So I guess when you think about it, what Jack does is really more believable and more likely to happen than that. But holy shit, man. Jack is surprisingly good for someone that you didn't really expect to just start shooting people. So with that brief introduction to Quantum Break, I want to go ahead and spin it up, play some audio for you, and it'll be about, 12 to 15 minutes maybe. What's really nice about the game and the introduction here, especially for those of you that always listen to the audio that I upload to the episode, is Jack Joyce is actually narrating a lot of the game and a lot of the intro as well. So I know that sometimes I'll play a game and at times I have to kind of chime in if there's not a lot of dialogue going on, just to let you know what's happening in that particular moment. But Shawn Ashmore, who plays Jack Joyce, does a really good job of narrating what exactly is going on, and you get that internal monologue going on there as well. So hopefully it'll allow everyone to get a good feel for the game. So here we go.
The number one killer is time. It destroys us all. This is what you need to know. Time broke. A growing fracture leading to the end of time. We went after a device that could fix it. Things turned ugly. Paul Serene was there to stop us. He has superpowers.
Jack?
Him and me both. We failed.
Jack.
And of course, time travel was involved.
Jack.
Going too fast for you? Okay. What do you want to cover first? You tell me.
Let's start at the beginning. When you first arrived at Riverport University.
I came back home to see my best friend, Paul Serene. He wanted to show me what he'd been working on. My brother Will was a scientist. He was also involved. Paul said it was world-changing. He was right.
Whoa! Come on! Watch where you're going, man! Fuck off!
Get out of the road! Asshole. Riverport University. Here we are.
Thanks for the ride.
No problem.
You'd been away for 6 years.
Paul and I had kept in touch, but, well, not so much.
How did it make you feel?
I was just happy to see Paul.
Paul.
Jack.
Just got to the campus. Where are you?
God, it's good to hear your voice. When you hit the courtyard, look right, you'll see this fancy modern physics building with the lights on. I'll meet you inside there. I am so looking forward to this, man.
You still haven't told me what this is.
I know. See you soon.
Why 4 a.m.? Why not wait till morning? Paul had always been a showman.
There's nobody left to convince.
Paul had always been hungry for success. Driven. He made it onto a lot of those top young professionals lists. And now he was coordinating some huge project at the university. It's a big deal for him.
You made a long trip just to see a research project?
Well, reading between the lines, Paul was under a lot of pressure. He needed a friend. I wanted to help him any way I could.
Son of a bitch.
Jack Joyce. In the flesh.
The esteemed Mr. Paul Serene. What's shaking, Moneybags?
Shut up and bring it in. Welcome home. 6 years. And I was starting to think you'd never come back.
Yeah, me too.
Come on.
This way. We're going upstairs to the project lab. How was the flight?
First class. Thank you for that. It's a step up from our van trip to Utah.
I missed that van.
I'm guessing that Will's not meeting us.
He doesn't know we're here.
I knew Paul had asked my brother Will to consult on his project. Will was all the family I had, but he was difficult.
There's more to this than you're letting on. Is it about my brother?
Still worry about him, huh?
If Will did something wrong, then...
Jack, man. Look, I've been tight-lipped about this for a reason. This project we've been working on is going to change the entire world.
Why do I smell one of your long-winded presentations on the horizon?
I would never. Oh, look. A perfectly placed presentation to illustrate the project. Now, put that there.
Oh, shocking.
Okay. Enough joking. The lab's this way, Jack. Come on.
Come on, let's just get to the big show.
You haven't changed at all. Welcome to Project Promenade.
Oh, shit. You guys must have some budget. What is all this?
The future, Jack. You are looking at the biggest discovery of our time.
It's impressive, but Will's the scientist. What do you need me for?
There's a reason we're doing this at 4 a.m., Jack. I need someone I can trust. I need you to help me convince Will.
Yeah, I had a hunch.
When your brother found out the scope of what we were building here, he... well, you know Will.
Yeah.
Hang on, I gotta get something from my desk. Will overreacted. Scared off the investors, ranting about miscalculations, dangers, all with no evidence. It works, but they're gonna cut our funding if I don't prove it. Jack, you know asking for her help is not easy for me. I am in deep trouble. You see, the tests I have to run here are not strictly speaking legal. You're the only one I can trust to help me with this.
Whatever Will did, I want to make it right.
I love my older brother, but he didn't make it easy.
It's already essentially set up. Anyone can do it, but you're the one I want to do this with. Jack, thank you. I knew I could count on you. I need you to push the lever over there, labeled Chronon Conduit. That'll activate the core. I'm gonna run diagnostics and make sure it remains stable. That's just the Chronon Conduit initiating.
Are you sure it's supposed to do that?
Stable.
What was that?
The core replicates the effects of a rotating micro-black hole, so activating it can be a bit intense.
A black hole? What exactly are we testing here?
You're about to find out. This way. We've got to raise the corridor. Just like old times, eh? Slightly illegal, moderately reckless.
I'd raised some hell with Paul in the past. I could tell this was different. Still, I didn't understand how massive and far-reaching the consequences for this would be. How could I? I knew Paul. He played it cool, but I could tell he was nervous.
It's happening. We're really doing this, Jack. It's gonna be amazing. Here, take this. You need this key to activate the corridor. We need to turn the keys at the same time to activate. Security precautions. Ready?
It's like we're launching a nuke. Wait, we're not launching a nuke, right?
One way to find out. 3, 2, 1.
God damn, Paul. What is this?
The corridor. The passenger enters one end, travels around the loop, exits the other, and arrives at the predetermined time and the physical location where the machine is situated in that time.
Passenger? Wait. This is a corridor for... You're actually going inside that thing? In the machine, through time? This is a fucking time machine.
I'm going to be the first, Jack. And you're my witness.
This is crazy, Paul. I mean, this can't be safe. What happens when...
Our team has already proved it works in the trial phase. It is ready. We've passed every test, every inspection. We're about to make history, Jack. All you have to do is hit that switch.
Two minutes to the past.
Remember this moment.
Paul! What? How...
It's fine. It's okay. Stay calm, Jack.
Stay calm. There's two of you. You just fucking multiplied.
This is exactly what was supposed to happen. He's me, a future version of me from 2 minutes in the future. Your evil future self. We did it! Fucking incredible. I mean, just... Imagine the implications. We could warn people about disasters before they happen, cure diseases before they spread. I just had this conversation. Still sounds good second time.
Jesus Christ.
Now go into the machine. You need to complete the cycle. Yeah. Yes. Of course.
Wait, Paul, what are you doing?
It's all a big loop, Jack. I need to enter the machine and travel back to the moment I exited the machine in order to, well, be here.
And what if you don't?
There is no what if. I'm here. It's already happened. You saw it, Jack. We did it.
Oh, that's impossible. That's literally impossible. I mean, I can't even...
There's no time to stop now. We need to test the other direction. Set the machine to 5 minutes to the future.
What are you doing?
Oh, no.
Jack,
Will?
you have to help me with this. We have to shut this thing down now.
No, stop him!
Shut up!
Hold
damage
on.
the core!
Hold on. We can't shut it down. Paul's still in there.
Shut up!
Look
Shut
at me.
up!
Look at me. Put the gun down and we can talk, okay?
No, there's no time.
You're not thinking straight. Put the gun down. Jesus Christ, Will.
Time is going to end. Jack, you have to trust me.
Or what? No, I gotta let you out.
Oh God! No! No!
You okay?
I think so. I'll find a way out. Make sure Will's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I could hear Will's words in my head. Time is going to end.
What the hell? This is crazy. Will. Jack. Hey, Will.
Zero state. What have we done? She warned me. I knew she was right. All this time. I warned Paul. This could all have been avoided. We're too late.
Come on. It's jammed.
This wasn't supposed to happen! The figure's all...
Stutter. Collapsed.
Jack! There's no other way out. I'm going through the machine.
Paul, wait. No!
Jack! This way! Jack! Jack! Come on! You can escape through the hatch I came in through!
I didn't want to leave Paul, but there was no way to help him. I didn't know where he'd end up.
Jack! Hurry!
Okay, so we'll go ahead and stop it there. As you can probably imagine, probably picture from what you just heard, things quickly turned to shit, and it is like that throughout the entirety of the game. There's a lot of action, a lot of good acting, a lot of live action cinematics and animated cinematics, and the whole game was very intense. And this was the very first game that I've played that actually had filmed actors, filmed actresses. And I never thought I'd be into something like this, but I totally was. Like I said, I don't like putting a celebrity's face to a fictional character in a video game or anything like that, or a book, because I kind of like to keep that character in my head the way I picture them being, or the way the studio, the developer, created the character completely from scratch and created the model of the body and the face and all that. But so seeing as how I wasn't a fan of the whole concept to begin with, the way this game turned out, I was pleasantly surprised. I was, graciously proven wrong, and I really do love it. In fact, I want to play it through again. With every choice that you're presented with just a couple of choices, and so it's not like a whole pick A, B, C, or D. So it's just two choices you have, and I want to go back and play it through and do all the other choices that I hadn't chosen the very first time, just to see how it alters the game. Now, from my understanding, I haven't played the game second time through. I believe that the ending of the game is the exact same. That does not change, but the events throughout the story, they do alter based on the decisions you make. So I'm going to go ahead and, I'm going to spin it up again, play through it, enjoy it again. It wasn't something I walked away thinking thank God that's over. It was really, really good. I highly recommend this game. Give it a shot, and please let me know what you think. This might be unlike any game that you also ever played. And if you enjoyed it, please let me know. If you didn't enjoy it, please let me know as well. That's what I kind of want to do. I want to get not only all of you talking to me, but, talking to each other. So please find me online, drop me a message. I do want to take a little bit of time here to thank those of you that have reached out, that have started following me on Instagram. I see the downloads coming through. It's very much appreciated. There's been a couple of you who have been very kind and very helpful to me. You do know who you are, and I really do appreciate that. It's great to know that I have that support in the podcast community, as new as this show is. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. It's always appreciated, and I look forward to talking with all of you again. So take care, have fun, be good to each other, and I'll talk to you next time.
We'll be right back.